Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Pooja Walia Maan from SGI Samal Khan. Today we are going to talk on the module Internal Marketing from the paper Services Marketing. The learning objectives for our today's discussion would be the meaning of internal marketing, process of designing the internal marketing, services marketing triangle, prerequisites for internal marketing communication, importance of internal marketing, and the barriers to internal marketing. To begin with, let's talk about what is internal marketing. Internal marketing refers to a marketing of an organizational efforts to motivate the employees of an organization and generating a trust amongst them for the service firm. The service marketer must ensure that it works in collaboration with its employees for the well-being of the employees and also for the overall organization. Imagine a situation where you plan to buy an insurance policy and you are interacting with the sales personnel. During discussion, you learn that he himself is an owner of a competitive life insurance cover. What would be your reaction? Would you purchase a policy from this insurance executive? Maybe not. For any service organization to survive and grow, it needs to undertake marketing at two different levels. External marketing, where the services are promoted to end consumers, and internal marketing, where the services are promoted to the employees and other collaborators associated with the service organization. Internal marketing is as important as external marketing for a simple reason that the success of a brand in the external market depends upon the confidence the internal staff reflects in their behavior and attitude. Here, internal marketing does not necessarily mean selling a service to the staff. It only means building the confidence of the internal staff in the services being marketed by the service organization. Let us quickly look at the definition coined by Kotler and Armstrong. They say, internal marketing is orienting the service delivery employees and other supporting service people to work as a team to provide customer satisfaction. Thus, the focus here is on making the employees take the onus of customer satisfaction. The concept of internal marketing originated from the idea of involving the employees of the service organization in the entire service encounter to improve the service quality of an organization by having a positive customer-employee interaction. Here, the service encounter originates by the production of the service and ends at the delivery of the service. According to Dunn and Barnes, internal marketing has two focuses. Firstly, it should be designed to complement the external marketing through increased customer-employee interaction. The employees should be actively involved in the development of external marketing communication and promotional strategies. Secondly, it should aim at encouraging the internal staff so that they deliver the critical quality dimensions of productivity and efficiency. The term internal marketing was coined by Berry in 1981 and defined it as viewing employees as internal customers, viewing jobs as internal products that satisfy the needs and wants of these internal customers while addressing the objectives of the organization as a whole. It is felt that unless the internal employees are convinced about the service that they market, they cannot generate sales. Only if the employees are treated as internal customers and their needs and wants are met, they become more committed, more enthusiastic about the services. Once the employee is satisfied with the service and has had a first-hand experience of the same, he is likely to develop a positive perception about it and offer an immediate feedback to the consumer's query. Now, let's talk about the process of internal marketing. Here, we are going to discuss the various steps involved in delivering a topic of internal marketing to the internal organizational employees. The first step in the process is aligning organizational objectives with the employee's attitude. Students, you must be aware, organizational objectives refers to the overall organizational objectives to be achieved in the short and in the long term. Now, the service staff should be involved and taken into confidence while designing the external, promotional and communication marketing plans. The idea is that the service personnel should always be clearly informed about the vision of the organization, and their role in the fulfillment of the vision should also be briefed. The purpose is that the employees talk in the same tone and in the same targeted pitch to the consumers as the organization expects them to do. This helps in the alignment of organizational purpose with that of the employee attitude, which is reflected during the service encounters with the customers. We move ahead to the second step in the process. This is comprehending the organizational core values. Comprehending here means understanding the overall core values of an organization by the employees of an organization. Every employee of the organization should be introduced to the core values and philosophy of the organization. The responsibility for this introduction rests with the service managers along with the guidance from the top management. This is important as it is the employees who reflect the organizational values to the customers in their day-to-day interactions and service encounters. Next is coordination. Having acquainted the employees to the driving philosophy of the organization and the overall mission statement of all, it is useful to coordinate the efforts of all employees to achieve the common purpose of customer satisfaction along with the organizational growth. This step is critical as humans have a tendency for conflicts. The service manager must ensure that each individual in the organization understands his role in the service production and delivery and knows what he has to do and when. The concept of total quality management can also be introduced at this step to explain the important role that each and every individual plays in the service delivery. The next step is for developing a congenial environment. Creation of an open and trustworthy atmosphere is the next step. The employees should feel confident to share their views with their immediate seniors as well as with the top authorities for the purpose of improving the service quality or reduction in the customer waiting time. Empowering the employees comes as the next step in internal marketing. Internal marketing is facilitated with having empowered the employees in the organization. The level of belongingness and motivation is directly proportional to the degree of empowerment offered to the service staff. When the employees feel that they are authorized to facilitate and expedite the customer's delivery. They become more creative and enthusiastic to satisfy their consumers, which is ultimately the aim of the organization also. The next is reward. Reward here refers to not only the monetary but the non-monetary incentives which could be given to the service personnel. Now, internal marketing can also be done by rewarding the service employees for their exceptional performance in discharging their duties. We already understand the concept of motivation, and the motivation of the service employees are far more important. Therefore, the reward which is being given is not going to only motivate the winning employees but should also generate a healthy competition amongst the other service employees to perform their best in the service encounters. Let's talk about another very significant aspect, that is services marketing triangle. Services marketing rests upon three significant components for being successful. In this figure, we may see the components as interactive marketing, external marketing, and the internal marketing. Now, we will discuss all the three components one by one. Now, let us look at all the three aspects of a service marketing triangle in a slightly more detail. The first is internal marketing. As we've been discussing, internal marketing is the most important dimension of the service marketing. Internal marketing, as we've just discussed, refers to the marketing activities of an organization to the internal employees of the company. Therefore, the employees of the organization should be involved in the development of the external marketing strategies, which will ultimately motivate them to share the company's vision, and they will also be able to deliver the promises of high service quality which the company has acknowledged to their consumers. Let's move on to the second dimension of the service triangle, that is external marketing. As the name suggests, external marketing refers to all the communication and the promotions, strategies, developments, designs, and action plans designed by the organization which is targeted and directed to the prospective consumers. The idea is that the encouragement of the sales should be there from the outside of an organization with the purpose of satisfaction of their needs and wants. The third component of a service triangle is the interactive marketing. Now, interaction means the two components that we've already discussed, internal marketing and the external marketing. The interaction between the two components, the employees and the consumers. This is the last dimension of services marketing, which highlights the importance of direct interaction of the service employees with the potential customers of the services with the purpose of delivery of high quality service. So, what are the prerequisites for internal marketing? Having discussed so far, it is clear that internal marketing aims to involve and motivate the internal staff and other collaborators of a service organization to share the organizational vision and work enthusiastically for the accomplishment of the organizational objectives through consumer satisfaction. There are a few variables in the organization which needs to be considered for a successful internal marketing. The first of such is the internal communication. The primary aim of internal marketing is to create customers and service quality conscious service staff. This is possible to achieve only when the employees are informed about the organizational core values, the guiding philosophy and vision of the organization, marketing strategies incorporating the long-term and the short-term objectives of the organization, consumer needs and expectations, priorities of different consumer segments, etc., which is sought to be done through communication. Using a top-down or a bottom-up approach, the top management must ensure that the employees share the organizational values as well as objectives for fulfilling the goal of internal marketing, of creating consumer-conscious service employees. The second essential element of internal marketing is the organizational culture. Organizational culture refers to the set of shared beliefs and norms in the organization which influence the behavior of all the employees. Culture facilitates the understanding of the organizational functioning, and it also serves as a guide for the employees. For a service transaction to take place, employees of different hierarchical levels may interact with the consumers. Hence, it is important for all to be integrated with the organizational culture by recognizing that they are a part of the organization and their interests are linked with those of the organization as a whole. Managerial skills and competencies are another prerequisite for effective internal marketing. Managerial skills are visible in the long-term and the short-term planning done by them and through its effective implementation. The competencies of the managers are reflected in making internal marketing successful by building relations with all the employees in the chain of service creation and service delivery. For the effective internal marketing, managers should possess competencies of interpersonal relations, decision-making, conflict management, leadership, introspection, and peer management, to name a few. Yet another prerequisite for internal marketing is the linking of internal and external communication. All along the implementation of the internal marketing, the service marketeers must ensure that the messages being conveyed in the internal and external communication are the same. The service employees would echo the message contents that they have been hearing to the prospective customers. Any mismatch between the message contents of internal or external communication may lead to a confusion, thereby adversely affecting the outcomes of internal marketing. So students, do you think internal marketing is all that smooth that we've discussed so far? Not really. There are barriers to the internal marketing. Let's ponder it one by one. The first is resistance to change. Whenever a new idea is to be implemented, a very likely reaction by those getting affected is to resist the new idea or the proposed change. They feel threatened, they feel insecure, and they're not able to readily accept whatever new change is coming. Now, it is the duty of the services managers to confront such factors which are leading to the resistance to change, ensure that all employees concerned are able to understand, appreciate, and accept the proposed implementation of the internal marketing. There could be another barrier to internal marketing. That is, failure to fix responsibilities. Often, the service organizations are unable to identify the position and delegate the required responsibility to effectively implement internal marketing. This is evident when the service employees are able to take a decision concerning a quality service delivery, but either are unable to do it or maybe at times unwilling to do it. Yet another barrier to internal marketing could be the lack of actual support from the top management. Even when all the variables within an organization are in right perspective for the implementation of internal marketing, nothing can be achieved if it does not have the support of the top level management. Here, the support not only means the verbal support, but also the allocation of the required resources. For an effective internal marketing, the employees down the line should get supportive and substantial indicators from the top management for its implementation. Else, the whole exercise will be futile. One of the last barriers that we are discussing today for internal marketing refers to managerial incompetence. If the service managers responsible for the internal marketing are incompetent or does not rightly appreciate the concept of internal marketing, the implementation cannot be done effectively. Often, the managers are unable to catch the indicators affecting the service quality level or the employee motivational levels and thus fail in their duty of putting internal marketing process in place. And it may just be a lip service to the concept. So now we come to a very obvious topic, which is the advantages of internal marketing in services organizations. The first and the foremost method because of which internal marketing is used is introduction of change. As discussed, people resist change. Therefore, if we are doing internal marketing in an organization, the employees could be trained to accept new changes coming in. A service organization will have to consistently upgrade its service creation and service delivery system to offer quality services to its consumers. And for doing so, a number of changes may be desired from time to time. Let's move on to another advantage of internal marketing in service organizations. This is building corporate brand image. Internal marketing commences with treating the service staff as the potential consumers. Efforts are made to convince them of the organizational practices and strategies so that, in turn, they are able to convey the same to the target consumers with conviction. In this process, internal marketing facilitates the corporate brand building for the external market. Yet another advantage of internal marketing for a service manager is improving in the coordination. Internal marketing tries to contain the interdepartmental and intra-departmental conflicts by aligning the organizational objectives with the individual attitude and behavior. Since all the employees in the service organization are expected to look up to a common direction to channelize their efforts, this in turn will facilitate the development of cordial relations and improvement in the coordination among all the employees of an organization. Let's talk about another advantage of internal marketing in service organizations. This is motivation of the employees and improvement in the performance of the employees of service organization. Internal marketing begins with the encouragement of the service employees and sharing with them the process of decision making. This facilitates in improving the performance of the employees and delivery of consumer satisfying experience during the entire service transaction. Introducing internal marketing in any organization means bringing about a change. But not every employee perceives change in the same way. There are differences amongst employees on their tolerance for changes being introduced in the organization. Often, it is advisable to introduce such changes when the organization may be going through some turning points in its business life cycle. These are often the times when the employees are in a need of direction and therefore are more open to adopting changes due to the uncertainty factor. The organizational staff may not perceive the changes in the same way. Some may accept such changes positively and accept the changes while others may not accept it. And they may either ignore it or even become radically against such changes. Taking advantage of such opportunities is the result of competencies of the service managers who may communicate with the employees and convince them positively towards the acceptance of change, like what a change agent normally would do as studied in the subject of organizational behavior. The change agents can channelize the energies of the staff to do internal branding of the services for a more satisfying consumer interaction. These change opportunities could be when the organization is heading towards some strategic change. Change of top leadership may also offer such an opportunity for implementing the internal marketing concept in the service organization. So students, let us summarize all that we have discussed so far in this module. Whenever the word marketing is used, it is likely to mean marketing to the potential consumers who are outside the organization. Yet, there is one dimension of marketing which may often be ignored by the service marketeers, and that is internal marketing. Hence, what is equally important to understand is that unless the brand is sold within the organization, it cannot have the desired breakthrough of sale volume outside the organization. This concept of marketing the services, policies, and the brand to the employees of the organization is called internal marketing. If the service transaction employees are convinced that they are bringing a brand to the target consumers, it will come alive. The importance of internal marketing lies in the fact that it is one of the most effective methods to build an emotional connect with the prospective consumers from the organization through the employees. On the other hand, an employee who is connected with the service brand is likely to be more motivated and in turn more productive in getting close to achieving the overall organizational objectives. Further, employees at all hierarchical levels generate a feeling of commonness and belongingness with the company. There may be hurdles in implementing this concept in organization, like lack of top management support or lack of managerial competencies to put the concept into practice. There are instances where the organization practices internal marketing, yet maybe not in the right spirit. The employees may be informed about the organizational policies and vision, but they may not be involved in the decision-making process, or they may not even be convinced with the decisions taken by the top management. In such cases, Internal marketing does not give the desired results as the expected level of belongingness and motivation may still be missing amongst the employees. Therefore, for the concept of internal marketing to be successful, it should be implemented in the same spirit as can involve the maximum employees of an organization. Thank you.